You are watching David Graham's News Sports Report right here on WLAF. If for any reason you missed a program, they're all on our YouTube channel. Just look up David Graham on YouTube, and all my shows are right there for you to see. If you would like to advertise on the News Sports Report, shoot me a text, and we'll get back to you immediately, if not sooner, at 423-912-2005. And now, back to the program. All right, in high school sports, Cougars versus Carnes. It was homecoming, and we congratulate Miss Blair Medley, who was crowned the 2019 Campbell County High School Basketball Homecoming Queen. We also congratulate all the young ladies in her court, and now to the games. The Lady Cougars keep on rolling. They won Friday night over the Lady Beavers of Carnes 89-30. Wow. At the end of the first quarter, it was 32-16, and by this time, Coach Brad Honeycutt had his starters out of the game. They, disappeared. And at the half, it was 53-20. At the end of the third quarter, we had a 72-24 lead, and you could have just about played anybody at this point. And we went on to win 89-30. Lady Cougars got everyone, and I do mean everyone in this game. No one set the bench tonight or last Friday night. Skylar Boshier, she managed to get 14 big points to lead the way. Haley Comer had 12, Macy Mundy and Myra Sexton had 11 each. Lexi Richardson had 9, Megan Asher had 8, Cora Browning had 7, Madison Brady had 6, Kaylee Jordan and Alyssa Brown had 5 each, and Rayleigh Snodgrass chipped in 1. Blair Medley and Emily Ellison did not score, or I don't think they played. 13 players and 11 scored, so a great night for Brad Honeycutt and the Lady Cougars, who remain on top in District 3 AAA, now at 19-2 and 7-0 in the district. Not so for the boys, as they lost a heartbreaker 68-67. I hope you were there to see this, and these guys, I'm telling you what, they fought tooth and nail, but still came up just 1 point short. We had a 14-13 lead at the end of the first quarter. At the half, we were down 31-28. At the end of 3, we were coming back, though. We were hanging in there, and we were down 47-42. And then your final came 68-67. Spencer Boshiers was hot as a fake Cougar card as he dropped in 32 big points on the Beavers. He had 4 threes on the night, was 4 for 6 from the line, and behind him was Jake Lane with 12. Nate Walden had 6. Bryce Duncan added 5, and that lazy Seth Ward, that's what I used to call him when he was a little guy, but just jokingly, and John Allen Arnold, I call him Gabby, had 2 each. Now, we were 12 for 16 from the line as a team, and I think this is the best I've seen this year's team play all season long. I'm so proud of these guys. They fought, they done everything to win the game. They got a few old-fashioned threes called against them, and I think that was your problem. They will travel to Carter Tuesday, January the 15th. Then it's home against the Dragons of Clinton Friday, January the 18th. And of course, you know you can follow the Cougars on the WLAP Entire Sports Network with my old buddy Mr. Cha-Ching himself, Josh Parker, on the call. Now here's some other district scores from Thursday night. Carnes beat Hardin Valley 68-55. Games from Friday in boys action. We're all in boys action right here. Anderson beat Powell 62-61. Knox Central beat Clinton 76-62. Now girls action from Thursday night, Hardin Valley beat Carnes 62-20. Games from Friday on the girls side, Powell beat Anderson 67-40, and Clinton beat Knox Central 54-31. And now here's the girls 3A standings. Of course, Campbell County is about a game and a half in first place. Oak Ridge is behind them. Powell's in third, Clinton's in fourth, Knox Halls is in fifth, Anderson's in sixth, Knox Central is in seventh, Carnes is in eighth. And the boys' side doesn't look too good for our Cougars, but here's what it is. In first place now is Knox Central. They overtake Oak Ridge, who is now in second place. Anderson's in third, Powell's in fourth, Carnes in fifth, Clinton's in sixth, Halls is in seventh, and of course Campbell County is sitting dead red in eighth place. Our neighbors to the east, the Panthers of and Lady Panthers of Cumberland Gap. The boys played at West Green, and we're sad to report they lost up there 70-59. And they will now get ready to go on the road again to Whitley County, as they will play Whitley County in Williamsburg, which is always a tough place to play, let alone win on Monday, January the 14th. We didn't get a report on the girls' game. Up north, our Lady Blue Devils lost to Washburn Friday, 54-44, and we didn't again get a report on the boys' game. We got this in this past Friday at WLAF. Justin Price, head football coach at Campbell County High School, released the 2019 football schedule, and it looks like this. Campbell County High School opens the season at home August the 23rd with Cocke County out of Newport, followed by a road game at Straw Plains against Carter on August the 30th. Now the region schedule begins for us on September the 6th at home with Oak Ridge Wildcats, following the week later with Seymour at Dawson Stadium, so we got 2 home games. September the 20th takes the Cougars to Corrington and a date with the Eagles of Gibbs, and that's again on September the 20th. And then the 27th, it's on the road again to visit the Beavers of Carnes. And then October the 4th, we will have a home date with the Panthers of Powell. Now October the 11th, we have a bye. October the 18th, it will be the Falcons of Fulton, and then that's it for the homies. We don't have no more. The rest of our games will be on the road, as we'll travel to Clinton on October the 25th and then to West, and that's a long ways out there, folks, on November the 1st. And as always, you can catch it all on the WLAF B&M Tire Sports Network, who has all the coverage. But did you know this? 2019 will mark our 45th year of live coverage of Campbell County football on WLAF, and I'm very proud of that. I'm glad to say that I had a little bit to do with that, but over the years, just think, 45 years. Our Lady Cougars are a very impressive 20-2 overall, 8-0 in district play, but our boys are on the flip side of that, 1-20 overall, and 0-8 in district play. They are at home against the Dragons of Clinton Friday, January the 18th. This will be our first meeting of the year with the Dragons and Lady Dragons. The Lady Dragons come in with a 14-5 record, 6-3 over 6-3 in the district, and the boys team are 9-11, and they are 3-5 in district play. And maybe, who knows, maybe our boys can pull out a win and get the ball rolling, so to speak, for the boys team.
100%. Kirk and his team completely brought my vision to life of my dream kitchen. Oh, Kirk and his team were here the day that he told me that he would be here, the time of day he told me he would be here, and they stayed until it was finished and paid a lot of attention to detail, which was important to me.
And that was another satisfied customer of Kirk Pierce Construction. Buying online versus buying in person. When buying online, you're not sure, you're frustrated, and forget about a quick refund. Why go through all that when you can go in, browse, and find exactly what you want at Bob's Merchandise on Nevada Avenue? Tell them, William.
If you're gonna buy an instrument, you want to see how it feels and how it sounds like in your hands, or if it's heavy or not, and just how much you like it, because online you can't see every little bit of it and you can't hear it either.
That's Bob's Merchandise, 128 Nevada Avenue, here in La Follette, 423-566-1031.
You're watching David Graham Sports Report.
In middle school basketball, now let's turn back the clock to last Tuesday and Thursday. Jacksboro Middle School was at Norris Tuesday, and we're happy to report our girls won big over Norris, the Lady Senators. Our boys lost in a nail-biter, and we'll leave that right there, and that's Jacksboro at Norris Tuesday. Now back to Thursday, La Follette Middle School was at home against Jefferson. Our girls lost yet another game. We're tired of telling you how young these little Lady Owls are, but you know what? They are young. But under Coach Craig Ivey, we know they'll get better. They'll be better very soon. Now, we didn't get the scores, but according to Ken Weaver on the boys' side, it was a defensive battle. Devin Jones scored a quiet 19 points, according to Ken Weaver. for the Owls en route to their win. Now, we talked with Coach Ken Weaver Friday morning, and he told the Sports Report, we played great defense, and that's what won the game. And I told him it's good that you guys can win those kind of games, those defensive battles too, and they're getting good at the right time. Wynn was at Huntsville last Thursday. Elk Valley was at Robbins. But little old me last Thursday again was up at White Oak to help celebrate 8th grade night up there. Before we go any further, all the photos I took of the 8th grade night are on our Facebook page. Just look up David, the letter N, Sharon Graham. Look us up on Facebook and copy all the photos you guys want. You know, that's why I put them on there, so you guys can have them. Okay, back to the games. It was a hard-fought sweep for the Wildcats and Lady Wildcats Thursday night at home over Jellicoe. The girls' game, the Lady Wildcats won 25-19. At the end of the first quarter, it was 5-0 White Oak. At the half, it was 11-6. And Jellicoe Lady Blue Devils took a slim 17-16 lead going into the third quarter. But the fourth quarter, the final frame, was their undoing as they were only able to muster 2 points, and White Oak scored way more than that, winning 25-19. Leading the way for the Lady Wildcats was who else? Number 22, Lexus Breeding. She's an 8th grader. She scored 22 big points. It's a good thing she showed up, otherwise they'd have had 3. Now leading the charge for the Lady Blue Devils was number 23, Kirsten Ward, and she had 9, and she had a lot of help. Up next, the Wildcats boys, they won this one too, 36-30. At the end of the first quarter, it was all tied up at 4-all. At the half, it was 14-13 White Oak, and at the end of 3, White Oak went off. I'm telling you, they had the score at the end of the third quarter was 31-19. That just shows you how much they went off. And then, of course, your final came 36-30 White Oak. Now, leading scorer for the Wildcats was number 24, Logan Day, with 12 big points. You know, last Thursday night while we were at White Oak Middle School, and of course White Oak Middle School is a middle school / elementary school, we talked to some of the students at White Oak during the games, during halftime of the boys' game, and here's what these amazing young boys and girls had to say. All right, hey guys, now all you guys are students here at White Oak, are you not?
Yeah.
And how does it make you guys feel when you know how small the gym is out there, and then you go to another school in this county, and it's a lot bigger, and they have probably better facilities, don't they?
Yeah.
But now, talk a little bit about how that makes you feel. Does it make you feel like that? Well, somebody doesn't care about what you guys have.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely makes me feel less important.
Yeah, it
Right.
makes us feel left out. Like we don't get the same things that the other people have.
Right. And I don't know of any other school that has classes in a trailer. How does that make you guys feel having to go out in the weather and halfway around the school just to go eat lunch? I mean,
Rains and we have to walk out there.
So many of us end up getting sick because of having to walk out there for computer lab, which we have to do every other day.
Right.
Socials.
So
we
you-
have to do social studies sometimes out there now.
but now, the 4th grade, they're out there every day, ain't they?
Yeah.
And they're going to eat lunch every day. So they walk halfway around the school to go to the cafeteria.
Yeah.
Would you guys want to tell me anything else? Got any other comments? Would you like to see the folks at Campbell County make it to where you guys have nicer facilities? Well, like everybody else.
Yeah.
How would that make you guys feel?
Great.
All right, so we're going to tell them to fix this, okay? We're going to fix it, all right?
Sounds good.
All right. Remember your first name.
Ethan.
Hey, Ethan. Now you go. You attend White Oak School here, don't you?
Yeah.
Now, Ethan, how does it make you feel when you go from this gym to another school that has a bigger gym and better facilities? How does that make you feel? Not good, huh?
Yeah, not good.
Yeah, but do you wish you had better facilities here at White Oak?
Yeah.
Okay. And I think some of them down there in Jasper are working on just that very thing. How would that make you feel not having to go to a trailer and come out of a trailer to go to lunch and all of that stuff?
That made me feel pretty good.
All right.
Not having to do that.
Right. All right, Ethan. Well, thank you for taking the time to talk to us, buddy.
Okay.
All right, we want to thank you guys. And also, guys, I want to tell you, I believe with all my heart that the good folks in Jacksboro are going to do the right thing, and they're going to get you guys fixed up. And I'm not just talking a new gym. And, you know, they've sent people up there to look it over and everything. So they got a pretty good idea of exactly what White Oak needs. And I just have a good feeling that the folks in Jacksboro are going to take care of this.
You're watching David Graham's Sports Report.
You're watching David Graham's Sports Report.
You're watching David Graham's Sports Report.
Who said you wrote?
Me?
All right. Thank you, Hannah.
You're welcome.
Okay, thank you very much, ladies. In middle school news from this past Monday night, we're sad to report that again the JV Lady Owls lost to Oneida, 28-8. Lindsey Turner had 1-3 in the game, and that was the only point she scored. Leia Kingsley and Gracie Taylor had 2 each, and Abby Bowens added 1. Wasn't much better in the varsity girls game as our Lady Owls lost 35-13. Hannah Harness and Berlin Miller led the Lady Owls with 4 each. Abby Powell added 3. Zaylin Ivy had 2. And that was it for our Lady Owls. Okay, to the boys game. A frustrating night to say the least for Ken Weaver and the La Follette Middle School Owls, especially Devin Jones and Noah Burden. As we said earlier, it was a rough and tumble game. Well, that's the way Oneida plays, and everybody knows it. And it really got to Devin and Noah. We lost this one 47-33. Devin Jones could only muster 15 points the hard way as he fouled out in the third quarter. He was mugged all night long, along with Noah Burden, who had 9 before he got teed up and had to leave the game early as well. Jordan White had 4, Jonathan Long had 2, Chris Elkins and Logan Walden chipped in 1 each. Before this game, the Owls were in first place. They'll still be among the leaders in their conference or district, whatever we'll call it. Now they will wait for the Eagles of Jacksboro Middle School, who comes into Owl Nation Thursday night. Come on up as the Owls will try to repay the Eagles for a loss they suffered earlier in the year, if you recall. Now, speaking of the Eagles, first we want to thank Kelly Charles for taking the pictures of 8th grade night down there. It was 8th grade night at La Follette Middle School as well, so we were up there and we asked our good friend Kelly Charles to go down and take pictures. Of course, we had to supply the camera, and she did, and we thank her very much for it. And of course, folks, I want to tell you right now, stop right now, all the 8th grade night pictures are on our Facebook page, David, the letter N, Sharon Graham. Go there, find the pictures, and copy all you want. I do this for parents, I do this for family members, for the players, I do it for coaches so that they have pictures for their banquets at the end of the year and all of this stuff. So copy all the pictures you want, and you better hurry because once the season's over, there goes the albums, because I delete them as I have to get ready for another sport. So get on my Facebook page and copy those pictures. And now to Jacksboro Middle School playing Livesey. The Lady Eagles improved to 15-4 after last night's big win, 30-14 over Livesey. The boys also won in a very close ball game. We know they won, but we don't have that score. Their one-loss record is pretty much right there with the girls team, and both teams are near the top in their division. They are playing very good basketball. Now they will invade Owl Nation and try to catch the Owls down after their tough night where they got beat up, and I mean literally beat up in a way, and will have to try to bounce back. Coach at La Follette Middle School, Ken Weaver, will have his hands full trying to get his boys ready, who lost not only a tough game, but a very emotional one against Oneida. They too will remember the last game against the Eagles down there, as it too was an emotional night, especially for Devin Jones, who will have to play better mentally than he did down there. No doubt Devin Jones is one of the best, if not the best player in the district, but he won't be worth a dime sitting on the bench. He knows that though, and so does Coach Ken Weaver. So the showdown comes this Thursday night. Come out early as the house will be packed. Eagle fans, Owl fans, and lots of media in attendance, including yours truly. It promises to be a wild night at Follett Middle School, especially in the boys' game this Thursday, and we'll have the full report on next week's show. Opening round of the Area 2 playoffs took place Tuesday night, and we were at Wynn Middle School, as they took on Robbins at home. The winner advances, the loser goes home. Do or die. It's now or never. Okay, I'll quit. Both Wynn teams were at home, as I said, against Robbins this past Tuesday night to open up the Area 2 tournament on January the 15th, and now here's that story. Both Wynn teams were at home this past Tuesday night, January the 15th, against Robbins to open up the Area 2 tournament, and now our Lady Bulldogs, we're proud to report they advanced to play Huntsville this Thursday night. We won 24-20 as Adams led the way for the Lady Bulldogs with 10 big points. Bolton had 6, Martin and Lambton had 4 each. It was 12-6 Lady Bulldogs at the half. We were up 15-9 at the end of the third quarter, and then, of course, your final 24-20. Now, in the boys' game, boy, I tell you what, it was a good one. It was a knockdown drag-out. Our boys lost, but we had a lead, but the Hawks came roaring back to win 25-24. It came down to the wire, as they say, but our Bulldogs go home, and the Hawks of Robbins advance to play number 1 seed Oneida this Thursday night. Carson Bolton led the Bulldogs with 15 big points. Charlie Adams added 9, and that was it for the Bulldogs, but we still congratulate head coach John McCullough, who had a very young team, and I'm going to tell you something, folks. The Wynn Bulldogs boys team will be a team to watch next season, I guarantee it. Other games going on in Area 2 on that same night on the girls' side. Number 4 seed Fairview played White Oak, who's a number 5 seed. Number 3 seed Oneida played number 6 seed Elk Valley, and number 7 seed Winfield took on number 10 seed Jellicoe, and the winner of that game will advance at Birchfield, who's number 2, and they'll play this Thursday. Now, the teams that win, they will advance to play at Jellicoe High School on the 22nd, starting at 4:30, with the championships Thursday the 24th, and we want to tell you, both girls and boys will have 3 sectional qualifiers who will move on. Buying online versus buying in person. When buying online, you're not sure, you're frustrated, and forget about a quick refund. Why go through all that when you can go in, browse, and find exactly what you want at Bob's Merchandise on Nevada Avenue? Tell them, William.
If you're gonna buy an instrument, you want to see how it feels and how it sounds like in your hands, or if it's heavy or not, and just how much you like it, because online you can't see every little bit of it and you can't hear it either.
That's Bob's Merchandise, 128 Nevada Avenue, here in La Follette, 423-566-1031.
100%. Kirk and his team completely brought my vision to life of my dream kitchen. Oh, Kirk and his team were here the day that he told me that he would be here, the time of day he told me he would be here, and they stayed until it was finished and paid a lot of attention to detail, which was important to me.
And that was another satisfied customer of Kirk Pierce Construction.
Gracie, are you wanting to say you're watching David Graham's Sports Report?
You're watching David Graham's Sports Report.
Here we are with Charlie. Come over here, Charlie. How you doing, buddy? So, do you know how to say you're watching David Graham's Sports Report?
You're watching David Graham's Sports.
Huh?
You're watching David Graham's Sports Report. You're watching David Graham's Sports Report.
You go, girl.
Kennewick County Youth Basketball action took place over the weekend. A lot of games were not competitive, but we found one in the 7 and 8-year-olds who were going at it hot and heavy at East La Follette this past Saturday as JR's Tires team took on the Raptors. It was a great game in the first half of play, but once the second half started, JR's Tires laid down some rubber and rolled 20-10 over the Raptors. At one point, they were going back and forth in scoring as the JR's Tires team would score, and then the Raptors would come back and score. But again, the Raptors couldn't get their shots to fall in the second half, and JR's Tires team Their shots fell like snow in Minnesota in the dead of winter. Now, this Saturday, here's what's coming up. Here's what's on tap for the Campbell County Youth Basketball League. 5 and 6-year-olds will be at West Follett. 9 o'clock, Kayla Raines versus Travis Thompson team. At 10 o'clock, Josh Campbell will take on Jamie McGee team. At 11 o'clock, Ron Williams team will take on Travis Leach team. At 12 o'clock, Justin Clear will take on the Leonard Turner team. And at 1 o'clock, Stephen Rice will take on Randy Headley team. Now that's the 5 and 6-year-olds. Now the 7 and 8. At East La Follette at 9 o'clock, Tracy Hembry will take on Jamie McGee. Well, not those two people, but their teams will. At 10 o'clock, Shane Chappelle will take on Mike Suttle's team. At 11 o'clock, Bill Rutherford's team will take on Randy Headley's team. Randy coaches about 3 or 4 teams in this league, as if he doesn't have too much on his plate already, but I lovingly joke him about it, but I really do appreciate all these coaches who take the time with these young boys and girls. At 12 o'clock, Darrell Lawson Black team will take on Dwayne Goenstein. And then at 1 o'clock, Cliff Henniger team will take on the Darrell Lawson Red team. So that's your 7 and 8-year-olds. Now the 9 and 10-year-olds. And this is probably the most competitive league. They've got, I think, 8 teams in it. At West La Follette, Chris Taylor Jr. team will take on Darrell Lawson's team. At 3 o'clock, Stephen Rice's team will take on Randy Headley's team, another team Randy coaches. At 4 o'clock, Jonathan Suttle's team will take on Heather Thacker's team. And at 5 o'clock, it's Skeeter versus Shane Chappelle. And that's at 5 o'clock, and that's at West La Follette for the 9 and 10-year-olds. Now the 11 and 12 at East La Follette, they go over there and play. At 2 o'clock, Starla Berry, and she's got a young team, but she's going to get better. Anyway, Starla Berry's team will take on Stephen Rice's team. And at 3 o'clock, Brian Osborne team will take on Cliff Henniger team. Cliff Henniger coaches a lot of teams over there as well. And, again, I really do appreciate these men and women taking the time with these boys and girls to teach them the fundamentals of basketball. And finally, the 13 and 14-year-olds, they play on Friday at the old rec center below the library. At 6:30, Andy Hazelwood Blue team will take on the Cliff Henniger team. And at 7:15, Andy Hazelwood Red team will take on Curtis Taylor Jr. team. And then at 8 o'clock, the nightcap, Skeeter versus Bucky. And 2 legends right here, I'm telling you. And 2 great friends of mine I love very dearly. So there you have it. That's what's going on in the Campbell County Youth Basketball Association this Friday and Saturday. So, if you can, go on over there and check out some fantastic basketball. I get a kick. Oh, it just tickles me to death to watch the little 5 and 6-year-olds go at it over at West Follette. But, I can't stay there. I got to cover the other kids as well. All right, you might need to write this down. Saturday, February the 9th at 9 a.m. at Wynn School. All right? Going to be a 3-on-3 tournament to be held Saturday, February the 9th at 9 a.m., starting at 9 a.m. at Wynn School. All proceeds will benefit Keith England. Everybody that knows him calls him Weenie. He is currently battling renal failure and has been receiving dialysis around 4 months now. And they want to host this tournament to help with the medical bills and whatever needs that need to be met. Anyway, but I'm going to give you some details here. This is for a great cause. Entry fee will be $40 per team, 4 players permitted per team. This will be a co-ed tournament with men versus men and ladies versus ladies. There will be concessions available. A 3-point contest will be held at 3:30 that day. And that day again is Saturday, February 9th, 9 a.m. You are watching David Graham's News Sports Report right here on WLAF. If for any reason you missed a program, they're all on our YouTube channel. Just look up David Graham on YouTube, and all my shows are right there for you to see. If you would like to advertise on the News Sports Report, shoot me a text, and we'll get back to you immediately, if not sooner, at 423-912-2005.